Welcome back. This is video number 2. So we're making a hammer map on the Source 2 engine for Counter-Strike 2. And previously we downloaded the DLC, and after that, once we downloaded the DLC, we're going to click play, and it's gave us the option for play Counter-Strike the game or the workshop tools, which will include hammer map editor. It'll give you the option for always use this option. Like I said in the previous video, you can always go back in the options and reverse that. We're going to click the workshop tools because we're going to want to access hammer. And this is the point where, so from my limited experience making different maps, I'd always create a new add-on for each map or each project. That was a little bit cumbersome. Going back and forth between maps, you had to exit out completely, come back in, start up the game, workshop tools. It was kind of a mess. So what I would recommend, at least starting out, is for your create new add-on to be hammer, because if you're primarily making hammer maps and not using any of the other workshop tools, just hammer, and then maybe the game you're doing. So Source 2, there we go. So we got hammer Source 2. We're going to create that. It's going to be the default, and then we're going to go into launch tools. Okay, so this is the window for workshop tools. We have hammer map editor. We have some other stuff, what I've learned so far. So we're going to go to hammer map editor, and this is hammer. It's going to show a blank screen. Starting off, we're going to want to go to file. We're going to make a new map. There we go. We have a new map. It might be good practice to go to save as and name it. I think that's going to be necessary. So this is the user interface. So we have a 3D view. If you want to navigate this, you're going to right click, and it's going to allow you to pan around. And if you see these this intersection, there's like reds and all of that. The center of the map is going to be this autumn sunset turquoise, whatever color this is. It's that color between black and white. So that's going to be the center of your map. And if you see these squares, that's the grid. You can change the grid pattern. Right now, we're not trying to be like exact, so we're going to probably just do a 64. 1 inch approximately is 1 unit, I guess, depending on whether it's VR or not. I guess it's scaled slightly differently from what I understand. So we have the 3D view. Right clicking and using your mouse, you can navigate this. And if you want to move around, holding down right click and WASD, you can move around while holding down right click. This will allow you to navigate the 3D environment. The reason why this version has just like the 3D view and the overview is like before, previous versions had like side view and X side view and Y side view. You can literally just like make a block in here, like, which is done as this. This is how you do it. So you go to block tool, and then we're gonna go to this. Ooh. Wait, what is this? Let's hit Control C. We're gonna hit cancel. Front view. Oh, that's why. So default is top view. Here we go. We're on block tool, and we're gonna drag, drop, and release. And then you see these dots here, After you drag and drop, you can modify the size, X, Y, and let's move a little bit. So holding down right click, WASD, and move around. So it's gonna be placed on top of the grid. So the positive Z-axis. That's gonna be like, this would put it into the negatives. That's at 0. And this, let's pull this up. Let's make a nice tall room. And it's not a room yet. This is just like a pre-room. So we're gonna hit enter. There we go. Now this is a block. I'm gonna hit escape. So this is a block where it functions as the outside textures exist and the insides don't. So if we want to make this a room, we're going to hit F and it's going to invert it. And we're going to hit right click. And then we're going to WASD into here. And here is our universe. Here's our map. This is where the whole map exists. This is it. This is all that we need for concept of understanding this. So now that we have our environment, we have one of 3 things that we need, unless there's other that I forget. So we have the environment, we need spawn points, and then we need lighting. I haven't figured out how to render a map without lighting, which you could do in previous versions. Anybody has any idea how, let me know and I'll make a new video. That would be great, being able to just render well, anyway, so we have 1 of 3 steps. Step number 2 is spawn points. This is Counter-Strike, so we're going to go to this tool here, entity tool, and here we go. Counter-Strike terrorist, counter-terrorist spawn point, and terrorist spawn point. Can't speak right now, excuse me. So we're going to go to counter-terrorist and select that. Oh, I noticed that he's not pointing in the right direction. Well, see this rotate tool? This is going to allow us to rotate it on all 3 axes. So we can rotate it. Here we go. Hit escape. There we go. Right click. In the opposite corner, let's go back to entity tool, terrorist spawn point. Select that guy here. If we want to move him up a little bit. Oh, there we go. It's not necessary. Rotate. There we go. And then at this point, we could render this and it would be a map and it would load. But it would be basically a dark room and I haven't figured out how to render a map without lighting. So what we're going to do is we're going to end lighting. So the 3D view that is by default is full bright. Not 3D wire. This is 3D wire. 3D full bright. This is the default 3D view. If we want to take lighting into consideration, which we're going to want to put it up here somewhere, we're going to go from full bright to all 3D lighting. And for now, we're going to go, like I said, entity tool. We're going to go to Omni-Light. I'm going to try to select somewhere in the middle. Here we go, close enough. Escape. Let's double click that. WASD, get close enough to it. Okay. A little bit of an issue, and I'll show you why. So we're going to do front. So this is just a preview. I'm going to scroll my wheel, zoom in. There we go. Let's move it to the center, not the issue. We're we're going to want to scale down the scale. So let's just do 2. And then we're just going to make sure that this is inside the map. Here we go. Just enough inside the map. Now let's double click this. Here this option menu comes up. And here we go. There's options for lighting. There's a bunch of crazy different things that you can do. If we want to make it look like an inside light, it's a little bit yellow, off-white. There we go. There's that. The big thing is range. This is the reason why the lighting doesn't look correct. So we're going to do 1028. This room isn't too big. There we go. And then another thing we're going to do is lumens. We're going to just increase the brightness. There we go. See how these corners look wonky? We might want to lower this light a little bit. So let's select this. We're going to go to this guy here and see how it affects it. Okay. So we're rolling a little bit. Right click to move around this view. It's still on front. We're going to go back to the top. Here we go. And there we go. Looks like we have hit decently lit enough just for a concept. We just have a 1 block, 1 light, 2 spawn points. That's the most rudimentary. That's basically all you need to have a map compile to where you hit compile. You'll be able to like open it up and shoot around in it in a map that you made. So I'm going to leave part 2 right here. Because there's going to be a lot of other points to get get a game to spawn and make sure that it's going on. I mean, I could make multiple videos based off of like not having the right updates set up to using integrated NVIDIA or not NVIDIA AMD graphics, conflicting with the lighting. I mean, I don't know. So, if you want to see a next video, leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. I know I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'd like to just make this a little bit more approachable to people trying to figure it out, and I'm having fun kind of explaining what I'm learning as I go. Thank you for watching. Oh, and one more thing, and this is important, is saving. So anytime you save it, and save often, you're going to want to change the name. I would recommend a version of a name, for example. So anytime you render it, building the map and having it entering into it, go to save as, and we're going to do Sheboygan. I don't know how to spell Sheboygan. Gary, Indiana. There we go. We're going to name this map Gary, Indiana. What we're going to do is we're just going to do 1.01 and save. There we go. This map is named Gary, Indiana. And we can Control S and save it as much as we want. But the next time we save it, the next time we build map and enter it into the compiler, we're going to want to change it to 1.02. Every time it's compiled, it needs a different name.